Well, I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but sometimes it's necessary to let you know, hey, when you're retiring or when you're retired, your FERS federal pension does not go up with inflation perfectly every year. The COLA, or cost of living adjustment, that is supposed to keep up with inflation doesn't do a great job, because for your FERS federal pension, the rules are a little different. They actually call it, this is not official terms, but we call it diet COLA. It's not as generous as what you're going to get for Social Security, what you might get for a military retirement. It's not as generous. And so it's not going to increase with inflation perfectly. And right now, because inflation is such a big deal, that is a big deal over time. So let me talk you through it. So this is how it works. Your FERS federal pension, if inflation is 2% or lower, it'll match it, no problem. But are we anywhere close to 2% right now? No, last year was 10%, not even close. But okay, so if inflation was 2% or less, your pension's gonna match it perfectly. If your pension, or if inflation was between 2 and 3%, your pension's gonna rise 2%. Okay, that's how it is. And if inflation is more than 3%, your cost of living adjustments in retirement for your FERS pension is gonna lag by 1%. So for example, if inflation was 5%, your FERS pension is going to rise by 4%. So it's going to increase, but it's going to lag inflation. Over time, that discrepancy between how prices are increasing and your pension, that discrepancy is going to compound, and it's going to become a bigger and bigger discrepancy over time. So for example, last year, if inflation was 10%, well, guess what? Your FERS pension would rise 9%, right? That's how it works. So it doesn't do it perfectly. Now, so like I said, Social Security for CSRS federal employees, the old retirement system, they all get full cost of living adjustments. There's just current legislation that does not give FERS federal employees the full cost of living adjustments. But that may be changing here. There was a bill that was brought up in the Senate that might change this. Now, nothing's happened yet. Nothing's been signed, and it may not happen, right? There's so many bills that come up, and this has come up before in previous versions, brought up by different people. But this one is coming up in the Senate, so that is good news. Previous times it came up in the House, so we'll see. It could change that, and if it does, hey, that's great. That means we'll be better off, especially in the current high inflation environment. We're going to be better off because your pension is going to match inflation perfectly, at least more perfectly than it is now, right? So that's good news. So again, first thing, you have to understand what inflation is going to do to your pension with the current rules, and if it changes, great. Hey, that's more generous. We'll see what actually ends up happening, and that's why I'm going to keep you updated here on this channel. So if you haven't already, consider subscribing, where I give you all the updates on your TSP, all your benefits, and how to retire confident. That's what we talk about all here. So I hope that's helpful. If you have experienced how this lag in inflation has affected you, maybe you're retired or maybe you're about to retire, please share your experience here in the comments below on the YouTube channel, and we'll go from there. So I hope that's helpful. Have an incredible rest of your day, your week, your month. We'll see you next time.